the class Ultron has us run this function, and that's right here, and it has the parameter 13 and in x. So 13 is going to pass down to x, and I have this little chart, I guess here, the legend here, so I don't get mixed up with my variables. So I'm just going to plug in 13 here, and then we're going to run the function, the Iron Man function. So it first tells us that integer y is equal to 0. So I'm going to set y to 0, and then it's going to have us run a for loop. So basically what this is it's going to loop a specific amount of times, and it determines that time by setting this variable, so in this case it's I, equal to its starting point, in this case 1, and then it increments that number by however much they put here. And so in this case it's I, and it's multiplying by 2. So I doubles every time, and it keeps going, and every time that it doubles, it's gonna run what's ever inside these brackets, unless I is greater than x, because we need this conditional to be true. So if I is greater than x, then this is going to be false. So x in this case is 13, and I is 1. And so with this conditional, with this increment, it's going to be 1, and then 1 times 2 is 2, and then 2 times 2 is 4, and then 4 times 2 is 8. And now we can't go anymore because 16 would be over 13, and I cannot be over 13. So for our first loop, I is going to equal to 1. It's going to be equal to 1. So I'm just going to change that here. So I is equal to 1, and it's good under this conditional. So what that means is we can run whatever's in this bracket. So that basically just sets y equal to the return of Hulk, the Hulk function. But the Hulk function has two parameters, that being y, which is 0, and the return of Captain America. So we're going to work inside out here. So we have to start with Captain America, get the return of that, and plug that in so that we can find a parameter for Hulk. Okay, so Captain America has two parameters. It has x and I. X we know is 13, and I we know is 1. So we're going to plug that into here, and so we're going to solve Captain America right now. X is 13, and then integer y, it's going to be 1. So that changes the variable for y and sets it to 1. And now it's going to run this, and that is just 13 divided by 1 mod 2. And I already did the math down here so that I wouldn't have to search it up while I'm recording. So yeah, 13 divided by 1 is equal to 13, and then 13 mod 2 is going to be equal to 1. So the Captain America function returns the value 1, and so we can plug that in back to Captain America right here. So I'm going to just clean up. So this goes away, and we can replace it with a 1 now, because we know what Captain America, the return is. And now we can start on the function of Hulk. Okay, so 0 is going to be integer x, and 1 is going to be integer y. And I'm just going to change that in here. X is going to be 0, and y is going to be 1. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to run whatever's in the Hulk function. So it's setting x equal to 10 times x, which is 0, plus y, which is 1. So 10 times 0 is 0, and then you add 1 to equal 1. So x is going to be equal to 1, and then it's going to print this right here. So I'm just going to print it so we know. I'll do a different color. Green. Okay. So it's going to print Hulk and colon, x is equal to x, which is 0, comma y equals 1. Okay, so this is what we have so far that's been outputted. Okay, and then it's going to move on to return x. So now we get to now we have the what we get from this function. And so return x is just going to be 1 because x is 1. And we could return that into here. So y is now equal to 1. Yeah. I'm just going to change that here. Oh, it's already there. But we do need to change, or we'll do that later. Okay, so I'm just going to erase this so we can start on our second loop. So x is equal to 13 again because we're starting the loop over. And y is going to be equal to 1. And I is going to be, this time I is going to be equal to 2 because this is the second loop and the increment is multiplying by 2. And so 1 times 2 is 2. Okay. So we have y is equal, okay, yeah, y is equal to 1, and Captain America is 13 and 2. So it's the same thing, but with different numbers now. So we can plug that into here, just like we did before. 13 divided by 2 is equal to 6.5, but since it's an integer, we're gonna round down to 6. Okay, and then 6 mod 2 is just 0. So Captain America, that returns 0. Okay, and then we can plug that in right here. Okay. So now the parameters for Hulk are 1 and 0. Or I'm not updating this. 1, 0. Okay, there we go. We're gonna run x is equal to 10 times 1 plus 0. So 10 times 1 is 10, and then 10 plus 0 is 10. So x is just going to equal to 10. Oops. And it also says it's the same function, so we're still going to have to print out. So Hulk is x equals 10, comma y equals, how much was it? I think it was 1. Oh. Yeah, y is equal to 0. Good thing we have that chart. Okay. Now we finished our second loop, and we're going to go to our third. And it's the same thing, so I can go a little bit faster. So, this time it's going to be, I is going to equal 4 because 2 times 2 is 4. 4, 13, because starting the loop. Y was equal to the return of x, which I forgot about. So the return of x was 10. Oops. Return of x was 10, and then we're just do Captain America right now. Move this out of the way. 13. 13 divided by 4 is 3.25, but it gets rounded down to 3. And then 3 mod 2 is equal to 1. Return of Captain America is 1. So, again, we can change this to 1. And then start working on Hulk. And then we can turn this to 10, and then 1. 10 times 10 is 100. And then adding 1 to it, it's equal to, so x is equal to 101. Now we can print Hulk x equals 101. Wait, did I? This is supposed to be 1. I think I mistyped it. I might have to go back and check. Okay, well, hopefully I mistyped it. And then y was equal to 10. Or no, y was equal to 1. Yeah, y was equal to 1. Okay. So, okay, yeah. So now we can move on to our last loop, where I is going to be equal to 8. And y was 101. It's 13. Put this down here. 13. This turns to 8. 13 divided by 8 equals, what do you say, 1. It's probably not 1, but I rounded down definitely. And then 1 mod 2 is equal to 1. So the return of Captain America is 1. Bring that here. And then 101, 1. X is equal to 10 times 101, which is 110, and then we add 1, so x is equal to 111. And then we're going to print out this Hulk colon x equals 1011, comma y equals 1. Okay, but we're not done yet. So the return of x, we got 1011, and that is going to go back into y. Okay, well, back into y. Okay, and then we have, even though the loop is done, we still have some code left in the Iron Man function. So it says system out println Iron Man colon x is equal to x and y is equal to y. So we need the final what we have. So now we have Iron Man colon and x is equal to 13 because right here from the beginning it's always been 13, but we only changed the x because of the loop. So since we're not running the loop this time, it's 13. And y is equal to 1. Wait, no. Y is equal to 1001. Okay, and that, I believe, is it.